Only chariot races, ludi circenses, could rival gladiatorial fights in popularity among the citizens of Rome. They were usually attended by almost 500,000 citizens, half the population of the city. In imperial times, there were about 65 days each year on which races were held. There were hippodromes in many cities of the empire. In Rome, the races were held in the Great Circus, Circus Maximus, a grandiose structure with running tracks 600 meters long and grandstands for spectators. The poor occupied the standing places higher up. Wealthy Romans bought tickets in the front rows. Sometimes the rich organized giveaways of entrance tokens, tesserae. Coins made of bronze, copper, clay, bone and marble were simply thrown into the crowd at an event before the race. The plebs would fight to the death for them. The races were opened with a solemn procession, a pomp. Magistrates, racers, musicians, statues of gods, emperors and famous Romans were paraded. Then began the races, which usually lasted until the evening. Each race involved from 4 to 12 chariots drawn by 2 or 4 horses. It was necessary to come first to the finish line after 5 laps. It was a dangerous activity. It was allowed to push out rivals, therefore rare races passed without accidents, collisions and impacts of chariots on obstacles. Charioteers died or were injured. Many of famous racers did not live up to 30 years. They had a leather helmet, belts on a body and legs, but they helped weakly. The risk justified itself. Repeatedly victorious charioteer, Auriga, got fame, glory, and huge money. The fortune of one charioteer could exceed the combined property of 100 lawyers. The wealthiest athlete in general for the whole history is considered charioteer Diocles. He won 1462 races and earned 35 million sestertius, equivalent to about 15 billion American dollars today. With such crazy popularity and wealth, they were still despised. Charioteers were mostly slaves, freedmen and plebeians from the lower classes. It was considered disgraceful for free citizens to race in the circus. 4 clubs or parties, white, red, green and blue, competed against each other. Each stable numbered up to 200 people. In addition to pilots, the staff included stablemen, doctors, veterinarians, shoemakers, tailors, accountants, and various other specialists. Competition was fierce, even within the same club. The Romans were very superstitious, and charioteers before the competition went to the charmers to bewitch the opponent or his horses. There were also violent clashes between fans of different parties. These wall-to-wall street battles had to be dispersed by vigilante policemen, or, in especially severe cases, by city cohorts. Large fan communities often became instruments in the political games of noble Romans or emperors. Patrons sponsored stables, organized races, distributed tesserae, and fan associations supported them in getting elected to significant positions or fighting political opponents. So chariot racing was more than just a sporting contest.